Okay, so we're going to look at how to start your weather project. And so we're going to start out by looking at the help pages that are located in your class notebook. And we're going to start with how to put air pressure on the weather map. So if we look at our weather map, we've divided it up into 6 sections. And so the first section that we're working on is the northwest. And so you can see that some of the weather stations are done for you. And so let's look at this station right here. And so this is station 285 Pendleton. And so what I need to do is I need to open up the data and find out the information from station 285. So in my OneNote notebook, I'm going to go to the weather data. I'm going to scroll down to station 285. And look at the information for Pendleton. And so starting with our air pressure, if we look, the air pressure at Pendleton is 123.7. So when you're doing air pressure, you take off the decimal and you only write the last 3 numbers. And you're going to write those in the upper right-hand quadrant of your weather station circle. If there's no decimal, then you're going to assume that the decimal's here and add a 0. Again, take off the decimal and write the last 3 digits. So we're going to put on our air pressure for Pendleton on our weather map. So we're going to go to the upper right-hand quadrant and we're going to put in our reading for the pressure. The pressure always goes in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so let's go back to our help pages. If you forget what you're doing, remember that you have these help pages and it explains how to do it so that if you get lost or forget, you'll have these pages to refer back to. So the next thing we're going to look at is cloud cover. And so you're going to color in the part of your station circle that the cloud cover is. So looking at this circle, this would be 75% cloud cover. So you fill it in like a pie chart and it goes from left to right. So let's go back to our data page. And for Pendleton, here's temperature, no precipitation, and we have 80% cloud cover. So we go back to our circle. I know that I'm going to color in at least 75% of the circle. And then 80 is going to be just a little bit more. And I'm not going to fill that in any better than that, but you can see how much you would have to color in for cloud cover. Okay, back to our help sheets. Now we have precipitation. And so precipitation for our data for this year is all going to be rain. The data was taken at the end of April. And so we're only going to be using these symbols. And they're going to go directly west of your station symbol. So let's go to our data page. And for 285, it says NA, which means not available. This is not available. This is data that was taken from students, so sometimes they didn't get all the data taken, or sometimes you have blanks. This here for Colville is a mistake, and so you just leave that blank. And so we look at Pendleton, we don't have any precipitation. But if we look up here at Vancouver, they have heavy precipitation. So if I was doing the Vancouver circle, I would put 4 dots directly west of my station circle. Okay, back to our help pages. Now the last thing we're going to do is wind direction. And so the stick is going to tell you what direction the wind is coming from the weather station. And so you have this circle to help you out. Here's north, here's west. Halfway between would be northwest. And then halfway between northwest and north would be north-northwest. So when you're doing your wind direction, make sure to refer to this circle to make sure you're getting the stick for the wind flags put in the right place. So let's go back to our data page and see what we have for Pendleton. So 285, Pendleton, we have 8 south-southeast. So we go back to our help page and find out where south-southeast is. So southeast is here, so south-southeast would be halfway between those two. So if we go back to our weather map, we know that our stick, here's east, here's south, here's southeast, here's where our stick for the wind speed is going to be. Now we needed to decide what kind of flag we're going to put onto the stick. How much of a flag you put on is going to tell your reader or a scientist what the wind speed is. So in your OneNote, you also have a page called Wind Flags. And so our reading was 8. And so we're going to put on a flag that looks like this. The flags always go counterclockwise. And so when we're doing our flag, it's always going to point clockwise. So this is not correct. They always have to point clockwise. So if we go back to our map, there's our wind flag. How did we skip temperature? Let's go back to our help pages. Oh, it was the last one, that's why. Okay, so temperature, we're never going to put a degree sign or Fahrenheit or Celsius. We're just going to write the number, and it goes in the upper left-hand quadrant of the station circle. So if we go to our data, the temperature for Pendleton is 45 degrees. So if we go to our map, 45 degrees goes in the upper right-hand corner. Some people find it easier to do all the temperatures at once, then do all the pressures, and then do the rest of them. That's up to you on how you do it. Some people like to do it station by station. I myself put on one thing at a time, so I'll do all the temperatures, then I'll do all the air pressures. That's just the way I like to do it and the way that I find it's to be more simple. One thing you don't want to do, and one thing that will get you points taken off of your map, is to write the station number in the circle. The only thing that goes in the circle is going to be cloud cover. And so do not put the station number in the circle. Less is more, so you want to put as little markings on the map as possible so that we don't add to any confusion. And I hope you found this helpful, and I hope it gets you started on your weather map.